Hey folks, Joe here out in the wood shop again. It is early Monday evening as I get the camera rolling here. iPhone, actually, not really a camera. And I thought tonight, just another quick video, more of a story than anything else. Behind me here, I have a couple of cutting boards. This one here is brand new. It's Purple Heart, Maple, Cherry. Yeah, Purple Heart, Maple, and Cherry combination. That was just about finished up. Another couple coats of oil. This one here, a little bit bigger. This one is Purple Heart, Cherry, Maple, Walnut, Purple Heart, etc. This one is, I'm guessing, 7 or 8 years old. Give you a little bit better look at this one here. I just put a second coat of oil on this last night. I put one or two more. This is not a new cutting board. This one is, like I say, several years old. It's probably 7 or 8 years old. And yeah, this is the cutting board I've been using myself here at the house off and on for a long, long time. And before I go any further, I'll mention something. When I eat, I like hot and spicy food. Keyword on words on hot, spicy food. Now, last year out in the garden, or as at the farm as I like to call it, which is just out that way, out behind the garage, I had planted some hot peppers as one of the things I planted last year in the garden. Potatoes, tomatoes, various peppers, lettuce, stuff like that. I had, I think, 3 different types of peppers. One was basically a green bell pepper, and 2 others were hot peppers. One was fairly hot. One was way beyond hot. Now, I like really hot food. I never had a hot pepper that I thought was even remotely too hot. And then last year happened.
Yeah, these suckers were hot.
So I'm harvesting these peppers towards the fall. I forget what actual kind it was. I don't have it written down anymore, unfortunately. I wish I did because I really hope to find the same ones again. But the first few ones that I harvested, they were so hot. I sprinkled a few. These are just little peppers, and I'd cut them into pieces, put them on a pizza I was making, and oh man, were they hot! I had to pick half of them off the pizza, and I hadn't put very many of them on. I could not believe it. Anyways, most of those peppers, I ate a fair bit of them fresh in small quantities in various food dishes, pasta sauces, chopped up in rice dishes, various things, soups and whatever. Most of them I cut into tiny pieces and put them through my food dehydrator for storage throughout the year. I actually just finished the last of those ones yesterday in a dish that I made up. And it just takes a little bit of those hot dehydrated peppers, once rehydrated into something, they are still hot, man. Holy crap. Anyways, here's the story about the cutting board and the hot peppers. When I was chopping them up last year to dehydrate them in the fall, cutting them into little tiny pieces, and yes, I was wearing rubber latex gloves and eye protection. Had one mishap years earlier when chopping up hot peppers. A little bit of juice from it popped up into an eye, and oh man, it stung. And other times I've gotten it into tiny little cuts on my fingers and all that, and it would sting and sting for the longest time. So I was being really careful last year. Safety glasses, safety gloves, and all that. Chopping up these little peppers on my cutting board in the kitchen and getting them through the food dehydrator and all that. That all went great. Now this cutting board, like I mentioned, is several years old. Earlier this year in the spring, it is well into June right now, but it was a few months ago when I started this, and it had quite a few scratches in it. It was definitely in need of a fresh coat of oil or two, so I thought I'd bring it out here and run the sander over it a little bit, the random orbital sander. I started with, I think, an 80 grit sandpaper disc to rough up the surface and take out the worst of the scratches. And then I was going to hit it with 120, 150, 180, 220, wet it down to bring up the grain, sand it again with 220, and then re-oil it. All sounds straightforward, right? Hold on one sec. Grabbing something off camera here. So as I'm sitting down to sand this cutting board a few months ago, I had on an N95 mask, I had on glasses, and I did not have on rubber latex gloves, so I did not realize I was going to need them. And what happened, and I had the vacuum hooked up to the sander as well. I'm not going to put this on to show you, but I had that on. Once I lit up the sander and started sanding this thing, hooked up to a vacuum and all that, and within less than a minute, probably within 30 seconds, I started sneezing. My eyes were watering. And at first, I didn't know what was going on. I turned off the sander for a minute and wiped my hands off and just kind of did this at my eyes. And then they were stinging like crazy. I had to go in the house, rinse my eyes out with water, the whole 9 yards. Came back out, put the N95 mask on, continued sanding, and it just got worse and worse. My nose was running nonstop. I had to continually stop, go blow my nose and all that. And I realized what was happening was that there were little bits of these hot peppers that got into this board, sort of into the oil finish that was on it from before. And it was fine. I used it dozens and dozens and dozens of times after cutting apart all those peppers. But once I hit it with the random orbital sander, there was small particles, I guess, that got released from the board from the oil and were coming up into the air, got inside of my mask, into my nose, causing the sneezing, into my eyes, causing a lot of irritation, and even my fingers were getting little hot spots from it. And it was just brutal, man. Like I was in almost agony. I put the cutting board aside, went in, stripped off all my clothes, threw those in the laundry, had a shower, I was blowing my nose, washing my hands, rinsing my eyes, the whole works. Before I even got into the house, though, after I set this down, like I was in agony. And even at that time, I remember thinking, oh man, when this is all done and over, I'm going to look back at this. I am going to laugh my ass off. And I told Donna about this shortly after it happened, and she told her husband Rolf. They were both laughing and laughing. It was an ongoing thing for months. But a month after this had happened, this was still out here. I had not even touched it again since. I was like paranoid. I had it on a shelf. I went to move it over to another spot so I could access something. And a couple minutes later, I noticed I was sneezing again already, like a month or two later, just from touching it and moving it. It was crazy. Anyways, just a silly little story about a little event here in the wood shop that, looking back, I think is funny as hell. I've got this refinished now, no further incidents. I just finished resanding it last week, got a coat of oil on it, let it dry for about 6 days, and put another coat of oil on it last night. Probably put one more on it still. But no incidents that time, though I did have the safety glasses on, the N95 mask, the latex gloves, the whole works. Threw out the sandpaper that I was using after each grit that I used. As soon as I was finished, right into the house, took off the clothes, put them in the washer, ran a load of laundry, had a shower, the whole thing. But man, oh man, did I learn a lesson about hot peppers and cutting boards that time. Anyways, I just figured I'd tell you a little story and have a good laugh. It was not fun at the time, but looking back, like, it was funny as hell, and I don't mind laughing at myself. Anyways, I just wanted to tell this story. I've been meaning to tell it for a while, and now that I got this board pretty much finished up again, I figured this was the perfect time to tell it before I take it back into the house tomorrow and get ready to start using it after the next coat. Other than that, today working on paddles a little bit. This two-piece paddle right here. This one is off to Labrador. I got another one like it in the house. It's going to Newfoundland. Newfoundland, Labrador is one province. Newfoundland is the island. Labrador is on the mainland. And I got this paddle here that is going to a fellow here in southern Ontario. Well, in southern Ontario. I'm in northwestern Ontario. So that's pretty much what I've been working on today. I got some more planter boxes I got to get back to work on tomorrow. I'll get those finished up. And now I'm going to shut off the camera here. And yeah, is it raining out? It started raining a few minutes ago, but it looks like it stopped. So I am going to wrap things up here, go get my dogs, head out to the back garden. I got it about half dug up. I'll have it ready to have it fully dug up within a couple of days and ready to plant. Anyways, short story for tonight. Ended up being a little longer as I babbled on like I sometimes do. Anyways, hope you got a good laugh out of this, because I know I did looking back. At the time I wasn't laughing, but I am now. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Here's the hot peppers from last year, and yeah, man, oh man, they were hot.